Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Catherine Maideman. And in this show, we're going to talk about some great Christmas holiday celebrations and things to do with the family. So on the show today, I have Ahmad Ward, who's the Executive Director of the historical Mitchelville Freedom Park. And we also have Heather Rath, who tells us all the fun things that are going on the island. So stay with me. We'll be right back with more 843 TV.
WHHI-TV, where the Lowcountry comes to speak.
WHHI-TV,
where communities come to speak. And welcome to 843 TV. And I'm really excited today because I get to meet Ahmad Ward. And I am excited to hear about what is happening here at Mitchelville. Before we went on camera, I want to talk to you a little about, because your history, before you arrived here on Hilton Head Island, you also have such an amazing history. Could you share with us a little bit about that before we get into all the other things?
Sure. And thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here. So I'm originally from North Carolina, which is right up the street from here, just a little bit outside of the Gullah Geechee corridor. And I lived there, grew up there, made my professional way in Birmingham, Alabama, at the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute. I was there for 18 years, trying to teach people, young at heart, about the civil rights movement in Birmingham, but also nationally, and making these connections with people. That facility is right by 16th Street Baptist Church that was bombed.
Oh, really?
In 1963. And then the park in front of it is where kids were sprayed by fire hoses and German shepherds were attacking them during the Children's Crusade of 1963. So that was like the epicenter of the civil rights movement there in the city. And those two events really had a major impact on how we look at civil rights nationally. So in order to make these ties, you have to go back. And so that's because of Jim Crow. Jim Crow is put in place because of the fall of Reconstruction. Reconstruction is in place because of the Civil War. So you try to go back and make these connections for young people. And I never had heard of Mitchelville during my studies until about 2017 when the opportunity showed up. And so I was a little perturbed that I'd never heard of this first self-governed freedman town, a town for formerly enslaved people in the state I grew up next to. Right? It had all of this impact, never seen it in a history book, never heard anybody even speak of it. And so it was very interesting for me to find this out and try to wonder why nobody has heard of this outside of the area.
Right, and that's a very good point. I mean, and you've had such an experience with being a historian and working with museum settings. So what brought you here to Mitchelville?
Well, like I said, I've been in this place for about 18 years. And sometimes, you and the logo start doing this. So I was looking for another opportunity. And it's actually kind of funny. My mother-in-law is the one who showed me the thing. Hey, look, they actually approached her because we worked in the same kind of field. And she was retiring. She said, I don't want to do anything else.
Right.
You want to take a look at this? And I was like, wow, this is such an incredible story. And I really was trying to figure out why I had never heard of this. And so you had this community where, it was as large as 3,000 people. There was 500 homes or so. They were charting their own course. They were creating their own law system. They had schools, they had churches, they had businesses. And this is happening in South Carolina, where the Civil War started. In the middle of the Civil War, at the height of slavery, this was something that wasn't supposed to be happening, right?
Exactly.
Not in this area.
Exactly.
And yet here it was as a place where Africans in America could feel like they were citizens of something. They did belong to a community. Like they had control over their future. And that's such a big situation to be thinking about in terms of how Black people have travailed through American history. And it was just such an incredible story, and a chance to kind of build it and to push it was attractive. And so I was fortunate that they saw fit to hire me.
I think it's wonderful. I can feel your passion too. So now that you're here, all right, so let's talk about today, because there is now a celebration going on. We have the
Absolutely.
holidays. So
Yes.
let's let's go forward in time. And, there's an archaeological dig going on right now. And also, first I want to talk about is the Christmas lights parade, because that's happening right now. And we'll go back to the dig. But what's happening, people can come through the community in their car. It's a drive-by, correct?
Yes. And so we have done a holiday tree lighting for the last couple of years or so. And so we have our mascot tree is a 250-year-old tree. And we've lit it last couple of years, a couple hundred people out there. It's a really nice event to kind of end the year, but it's a holiday kickoff is what we call it, usually the first Monday in December. Obviously, you can't do that this year because of COVID restrictions. We still only have like maybe 50 people at a gathering at town parks. And so we're trying to figure out what could we do. And so, okay, let's make it into a drive-through. Instead of doing one day, we'll do 3 days. So that's December 5th, 6th, and 7th. And it is season greetings around the world. And so you will actually be able to travel the world through Mitchelville Park. And so I'll just say that there's some really interesting places that you'll visit as you go through the park. There may or may not be snow. I don't know, maybe. There's going to be a lot of lights. It is free to the public.
Okay.
Donations are always welcome, obviously.
Yes.
But we want to just do something for folks. It's been such a hard year.
Totally. And it'd be fun for the kids.
Right.
And
right.
the old, as well, because who doesn't love Christmas lights? Who doesn't love the holidays?
Who doesn't love Christmas lights?
And I think we sometimes have to find the cheer, because it's just been such a tough year for all of us.
Yeah.
So what time of day?
So this is 6 to 8 each
Okay.
day. So that's a Saturday, Sunday, and a Monday, the 5th, 6th, and 7th of December.
Okay.
And you can come in at 6 o'clock. We've got it lined up for you so we can get people in and out safely. There'll be volunteers that help to chart the path. But you might see the Eiffel Tower. You might see King Tut. You might
Oh my gosh, that is so
You
fun.
may see a Statue of Liberty. You might
Are
see
you
a
giving
big
us some clues?
Maybe. It's going to be really cool. We're working on it right now. We got them setting up things in the park. It's going to be a great way to come in and see some cool stuff. We're kind of piggybacking off what the Lantern Parade did last month, and actually might see some lanterns from that parade out there. WHHI has been very, very generous in helping to pull some things together for us and promotion. And it's part of historic holidays, and so we do these things with the Heritage Library and the Gullah Museum, just trying to spread some cheer throughout the island and the area and the county. And so we hope to pull people from all around the county to come and check it out.
I love it. I think we have a place to go, and I think it's wonderful. Listen to us, community. We got to go and support that as well.
Don't even have to leave the hour.
All right. So we've done Christmas. Now we're going to go back to the archaeological dig, because that's really important. Again, that's history, and it's been in the process for a couple of years.
Absolutely. Catherine Sieber, who's been doing archaeology for us for 4 years now, is back with the team, and we're doing a geophysical study. And so part of our master plan, we placed out where we think things will go. We want to recreate part of the town. We have a church reflection area. We have an interpretive center. We got to make sure that everything underneath that is set and straight. We don't want to build something over some really important archaeological find. And so what they are doing is mapping out each area where we're going to put something and running sonar, magnetometry, resistivity, and probably some other names I can't pronounce with machines just to see what's underground. They're mapping this whole area. And when they put all this research together, they'll be able to tell us, hey, there's something extra right here. And we go back and dig and find out where it is. And so they'll be with us until January the 9th. Katie is the person who helped us find the church on the property. Last year, we're about 85% sure we know where one of the historic churches was. Part of this project will also help us to locate the general store. We think there's a general store along that pathway going towards the beach. And so they're actually working on that right now to see if they can locate where that store was. And we will put a replica of that store at that site. So this is going to help us to really flesh out everything that's going to happen on the property.
That's exciting. And also, it's too bad we just can't have the kids from school come and watch this as well. What an education.
Well, we actually encourage people to come out. And I know there's not a field trips going on right now because people are, either hybrid or doing anything else. But if any teacher watching us right now wants to come out to the park, they can contact the organization, and we will set something up for them. They actually will take time and tell them exactly what they're doing.
I think that's really exciting.
Yes. So we encourage it. If you want to come and see what they're doing, just let us know.
So, I'm trying to think, we have a couple more seconds left. What else can we talk about for 2021?
Well, we are looking forward to starting phase 1 development at the site. This has been a long time coming. This idea has been around for 15 to 20 years. And we will hopefully begin campaign management next year. Phase 1 development will include some infrastructure, potentially some ghosted structures of those homes. We want to recreate some of the property, as I mentioned, and so we'll build some of the 12 by 15 homes. Hopefully we get those ghosted structures up, and also that church reflection area. We were going to put a church there at this site, but then we found a 4,000-year-old Native American imprint in that same area.
Oh my
and
goodness.
So, yes, this gives us an opportunity to talk about both, the importance of both of these cultures to that area. And so it'd be more of a reflective area. We'll have 7-foot core samples coming out of the ground so you can see what level of things, stuff is. It's going to be really, really cool. And to support that, just go to exploremitchelville.org.
Okay, well, thank you for that. This is really exciting. I mean, especially in today, we want to find out in history. And I appreciate you coming on the show.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Wishing you a safe holiday as well.
Same to you. Thank you very much.
And we'll be right back with more 843 TV.